Well,
Okay, thank you.
Hi, everybody.
Yes. Hi, welcome, dear Harry.
I'm going to find social.
We are with you.
So, hello, everyone. Nice to see you. Those of you who I can see. Those of you who I can't see, I'm glad you're here. I'm sure you're off in the background researching something very important, or, you know, doing something so important that you can't show your video. It's okay. Look, I came on video and I don't look bad today, apparently, which is good. So it's been a while since I saw you last. Oof. It was a long time ago. I can't remember when it was. Does anyone remember when it was?
In November?
In November.
November. Wow, that was like last year. Oof. So much has happened since November. Christmas, New Year, St. Patrick's Day, which is today. There you go. Everything's happened. And the good thing about St. Patrick's Day, now this is very important for everybody to remember. This is very, very, very important. St. Patrick's Day is always exactly 1 week before my birthday. Okay, so you can always remember that every St. Patrick's Day, you can think, in 1 week, it's Harry's birthday. So that's a very important thing to remember. I can't see anyone taking notes there. This is the most important thing, but no, I'm joking. So it is, of course, my birthday on the 24th of March, but that's not what's important today. What's important today, I know what we're looking at. I know what you're looking at. Are these, which I'm sure you know very well by now. There we go. The Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. I know you're learning all about them at the moment. And today we're going to talk about one of the big ones. And I call it one of the big, look at that, I'm going to make it so big. Wow, one of the really, really big ones. It's climate action. So for me, in my line of work, in my field, this is, of the 17, I'd say it's in the top 3 for how important it is. But I would also say it's in the bottom 2 for how well it's being achieved at the moment. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with the SDGs. I love them. I think they're a wonderful idea. I think as a framework for education, they are incredible. I think the ideas behind them are amazing. And some of the initiatives that have come from them are absolutely brilliant, like this wonderful initiative. But the people who need to be doing the action, the climate action, I just elbowed the table really hard. Oh, that really hurt. The people that need to be doing the action, the governments, the large multinational companies, maybe aren't taking these things as seriously as they could be. Perhaps our governments could be taking them a little more seriously. And these SDGs, they're they're 7 years old now. 7 years old. That's almost as old as my daughter. And like, my daughter can do loads of things by now. She's brilliant. She even understands climate action. I feel that somehow governments and so on are quite behind on this. So they've left it up to people like us in this wonderful organization, this amazing institution, to take climate action into our own hands. So I am going to share my screen. I hope I'm allowed to. Hopefully I don't open it onto any emails or anything like that. Fingers crossed. Woo, that was close. Could have been emails. Wasn't emails. There's nothing bad in my emails, just work stuff. Nobody wants to see my work. It's incredibly boring. So, as we have there, take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. That's what it says. That's the call to action for SDG 13. Urgent action. Can you see my screen? You can't see my screen.
Only seeing like a whiteboard.
I hate the whiteboard. It's so annoying. Here we go. Let's try again. Let's try again. There we go. No, still no. What's going on?
Oh.
I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to start again. Sometimes the whiteboard gets very troublesome. I'm just going to try and share just that. There we go. I don't understand the whiteboard. It always takes over my screen for me. It's happened more than once. Don't worry. It's not that I'm incompetent. I'm just not very competent. So take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Urgent action. Urgent. Now, for me, you know, urgent is something big now. For example, I've got coffee in here. No, Harry, you shouldn't be drinking coffee at this time of night. I know, but I'm just so excited to see everybody. I needed to drink some coffee. Now, if I spilled this coffee on myself, my urgent action would be to do something immediately. It feels that urgent action being taken by governments and large multinationals is a bit like they've spilled the coffee on themselves and they said, don't worry. By 2030, I will have started to think about changing my shirt. There's all of these ideas that are so far into the future. You know, yes, we are going to completely stop using, we're going to completely stop using coal. Maybe by 2040, we might start phasing it out, rather than saying, what we're going to do is fund every single project of building houses to install solar panels, because that's renewable energy that we can use immediately. I know we can't just turn off the tap for fossil fuels. It's not that easy. But climate action on a government scale isn't really happening. For those of us here in the EU, last year, in July last year, here we go, banned single-use plastics. Okay, they banned single-use plastics. I was like, yes, climate action, single-use plastics are banned. So no more plastic coffee cups. Lies, there are still plastic coffee cups. No more plastic coffee cup lids. Lies. No more plastic straws. Okay, they're slowly coming on with that one. No more sticks for balloons. Okay, so what they've accounted for there with those kind of 5 or 6 items are about 0.9% of the entire plastic pollution. That's the pollution side of things. You know, we're also still creating. Now, on Friday, I'm so exciting. I said to my wife, we're going on a trip today, my love. She said, brilliant, where are we going? We're going to Malaga. Are we going to the beach? She said, no, my love, we're going to a water factory where they bottle water in sustainable packaging. So a huge amount of plastic is used in water bottles, but there are alternative options, which were considerably more expensive, but now they're becoming less expensive because, as we know, the price of oil is going up and up and up and up and up. So climate action on a global scale is quite poor. Let's have a look at the goals here. Now, bear in mind the other sustainable development goals. There are, 7, 8 different targets. If you look at equality, there are 7 different targets. If you look at quality education, I think there are 8 different targets. They have all of these lots of different targets. Now, if I'm thinking climate action isn't one thing. We've got biodiversity loss. We've got carbon emissions. We've got, all sorts of, we've got a plethora. There are so many different issues that are out there. And what they've got here are 3 solutions. Their solution: strengthen resilient and adaptive capacity to climate-related hazards and natural disasters in all countries. What that one says to me is, get ready for climate disaster. That one says, okay, everybody, if you're ever on a plane and there's turbulence, they say, fasten your seatbelts. To me, the number 1 target there is, everybody fasten your seatbelts because the climate's going to change. It's not, let's lower CO2 emissions dramatically. I mean, that comes slightly later, but integrate climate change measures into national policy, strategies and planning. Climate change measures. Okay, we need to integrate that into national planning. Again, it's very soft wording saying, okay, what governments need to do is suggest they're trying to make a difference at some point, whilst continuing to drill for oil, whilst continuing to send their landfill to other countries, and while saying, hey guys, we recycle. We recycle. Don't get me wrong, recycling is a good thing to do. Recycling is a good thing to do. It's a good way to make yourself conscious of what you're using as well. So when you recycle, pay attention to what you're recycling. Don't just chuck it in the bins. Look at it and think, this week I used 76 pieces of single-use plastic. How can I reduce that next week? Use all of this, use these ideas for recycling rather than just saying, I recycle, I'm good. Because for me, recycling is good. It's a great first step. It's that first step in towards environmentalism, that first seed to become a tree of activism. And it's a great way to start. But for me, it's a bit like saying, I love the planet because I recycle, is a bit like saying, I'm on a diet, I had a Diet Coke with my Big Mac. You're doing something, but you can do more. You can do more. But it's a great way to get started, and it's a wonderful way to introduce classes and students to the idea of climate action. And now the next one, here's one that you guys have got ticks in all the boxes for. This is brilliant. Improve education, awareness raising, and human and institutional capacity on climate change mitigation, adaptation, impact reduction, and early warning. Okay, that's for me are 10 different targets in one. We're talking about raising awareness and education. Ideas like this are brilliant. They are mind-blowingly wonderful. The idea that we have, 50 people here together to talk about climate action across Europe, across the globe, doing this is amazing. This is a big tick for 13.3. And human and institutional capacity on climate change mitigation. Big words. Climate change mitigation, how we can tackle climate change, how we can reduce the impact of climate change. Adaptation, now that's the fasten your seatbelts. How are we going to get ready for this? We're not going to stop climate change. We're not going to stop it. Climate change is a train going at 100 kilometers an hour and the brakes don't work very well. What we can do is slow it down. We can slow it down. There are a number of ways to do this. Impact reduction, again, so when we do have climate change disasters, let's look at Germany last year with the floods, wildfires constantly raging in Australia, in California. These are the global north. These are countries that, had thought climate change is in the future. We don't have to think about that. It's not going to affect us. It will only affect the global south, so we don't need to worry. These are issues that are now, they're on our doorstep. And the idea of 13.3 is to become more resilient to this. So we are, the impact of this is reduced, particularly with growing crops and adapting the crops that we grow. And early warning, so we know about these things, so we're ready for them. So what can we do? I don't want to look too much into the 13A and B, because again, it's all lots of things into one. We need to invest more money. They said 100 billion annually by 2020. It's not just about throwing money at it. It's about taking money away from the institutions that are causing the problems. All of you wonderful people are young people. I imagine you're starting your journey to adulthood. One of the big things with your journey to adulthood is when you get your bank account. Think about where your bank account is. Think about where you're investing your money and look into other options because, you know, maybe your bank funds fossil fuels. So that's one of the climate action things that you can do right now. Now, I want to know, I've definitely talked for long enough now, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen, get back here. I want to know, what is climate action to you and what can you do to be more climate active, I guess? The floor is open. Who would like to speak? Don't be shy. I can see you're all desperate to speak there.
Okay, we are waiting for the hands.
You've got this.
Yes.
Don't be shy. Tell me one thing you can do.
Try not to use so many water and trying to use less fossil combustion, less petrol or something just like this. So the nature could become better than now.
Brilliant, Robert. I think what you've said there as well, less. Less is a huge key here. This word, use less. You know, use less. Think about this. I've got two big things that I say. Don't waste. So whatever it is, don't waste it. No matter if it's food, if it's water, if they're clothes, don't waste. And the second one, do I want it or do I need it? There's some things. For example, I want all the hats. I want every hat. You know, I go into shops and I can see hats and I just like, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. Do I need them? I don't think so, because I've got another hat here in case it gets cold. I've got one here for when I want to fight against plastic. You know, I've got enough hats. Oh, we've got some people with their hands up. Enes, would you like to speak?
I think it's about climate change. We have to stop climate change. If we don't stop climate change, living things in the world will be affected and damaged.
Absolutely. Living things, and that's all living things. You know, we often think about climate change and we think about nature, and everyone says, oh, think about the animals. Don't worry, I love animals. I love all of them. I don't eat them, and I look after that one. Although she still eats animals because we can't get insect protein here yet. Bad doggy. But it's becoming also about humans. You know, at first it was about animals and we need to make sure we don't lose these species. It's also about humans now. Humans are so massively affected. Brilliant. So next up, I think, is Irem. Irem?
Yes, that's part of me. Maybe
How do I
we
say your
can.
name?
My name is Irem.
Irem. Okay.
Yes, Irem. We can buy less red meat, milk, cheese, and butter, consume more locally produced foods, and reduce food waste. I guess.
Yeah, that was a beautiful answer. A beautiful answer. Now, we're not saying everybody needs to be vegan, but you can be vegan. But you don't have to be vegan, but you can be vegan. You don't have to be vegan. What we're saying is reduce the amount of meat that you eat. And if you do buy meat, eat it. Don't throw it away. Don't throw it away. Don't let it go bad. If you're going to buy meat, then eat it. Don't leave it there in the fridge and go, oh, it's gone bad. Oh, never mind, I'll throw it away. Number one, meat's expensive. Your parents will get really angry. Number two, it's expensive not just in terms of money. You know, it takes a lot of water. It takes a lot of land. And cows, they produce so much methane when they pass wind. So yeah, don't waste whatever you do. Pinar, you're next.
Okay.
Well, I can talk for myself that over the past couple of years, we in Turkey were able to feel the slight effects of global warming and climate change. I live on the west coast of Asia, of Turkey, and in my entire life, I've only seen snow like once or twice where I'm at, since we're like near the sea. But especially this year, not only did it snow a couple of times, but it was also extremely cold, like colder than any winters I've spent here. And the summers are getting warmer as well. Our summers are usually humid and hot, but nowadays they've been getting noticeably warmer. And I think soon it'll get even worse, and we'll see more drastic changes like floods and droughts, maybe. I think it's probably like this everywhere. And as the ones responsible for this, should take responsibility and do our best to help the environment. I mean, I don't think there's too much we can do individually, but as a group like this, I think we were able to raise awareness. I was able to learn a lot of things about climate change and climate action thanks to this course. So learning about climate change is very important for like ordinary people and citizens, I think.
Brilliant. That was a wonderful answer. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, here in Spain, in Seville, our winter was not cold at all. It was, well, I'm still in short sleeves. I think I've maybe worn a jumper 3 times this winter. And our summers are brutal. It's like 50 degrees here. It's horrible. You just have to hide inside with air conditioning on. Luckily, I now have solar panels, so that's one good thing. But yeah, things are changing rapidly, and you're right. As an individual, it's difficult to make a big difference. But as a group, we can make a bigger difference. Our voice is much louder if there are 50 of us shouting than if there's just one of us shouting. I can see, Denise, you've got your hand up there.
I'm going to speak this time and go silent because I couldn't solve this internet problem yet. So let's begin. I'm agreeing with Pınar in this topic, but I want to add some more to that.
Come on, internet.
Deniz, maybe you can turn off your camera, then try again.
No.
She can't hear us.
Denise, hello, Denise. I've got a brilliant plan. Okay, here we go. 1 second. I'm going to give you a link to a Padlet. Hello. Your internet cut out very badly there.
I couldn't
Denise.
do this time. I'm going to write on the chat.
Okay, what I was going to say.
I'm going to write this on the chat section.
If you go to the Padlet that I've just given you, I've just put a Padlet in the chat. If you go there, you can record your voice and we can listen to the voice recording. How's that? It's just an idea. If you want to do that, you might need to turn the volume down because I keep talking. I find it difficult to be quiet when there's people here, and the subject is climate action. Wow. Anyway, I need to change hats. That's better.
I'm gonna do that because I couldn't solve this.
Okay, cool. Give it a shot because I do want to hear. So I'm going to keep an eye on that Padlet. Oh, I can see there's another hand up. There's another hand up.
It's me.
It is you.
I guess. Like everyone talked about some really important points, so there's like nothing much I can talk about, or it doesn't come up in my mind. But I want to talk about like how it affects like everything. Actually, it's like a chain of unfortunate events when you look at it, because like everything comes after when like, how can I say? For example, I want to talk about the like jobs at this point, because if we don't take action towards this climate change, a lot of people will lose their jobs. For example, farmers and people, who have farms are farmers actually. So I didn't have farmers. And a lot of scientists will lose their supply sources, for example, for like a lot of medicine, we will not be able to produce them, or, yeah, that's actually it. I want to just talk actually. So
that's brilliant.
Yeah.
No, it's true though. Like farmers, those who can't adapt to the situation will be out of work. They'll lose their farms. You know, they won't be able to. They'll have to change crops and so on and so forth. And if they can't, then unlucky. And then, yeah, another thing that I think is really important for you guys, and that this is going to be super useful for in your future. We often talk about preparing for jobs in the future that don't exist yet. I think even preparing for jobs that do exist, having a knowledge of the environment and sustainability, being aware of these things is going to be something that when you're going for your jobs and your interviews in, you know, a few years' time, it's not that long away. Don't worry, time really does fly. At the moment, the weeks may seem long, but they'll fly by soon. You're going to need to have an awareness. You're going to need to have these green skills. So societies like this wonderful society will really help you towards the future. Now, there's another hand up there. Hello. Hello.
Hi. All right, so you can hear me, right?
I can.
Okay.
Can you play the guitar?
I mean, I bought it for school. I'm okay at it, but I don't do it for a hobby, I guess.
Okay.
Anyway, so first of all, if I understood it wrong, I'm terribly sorry, but because I missed like 5 minutes of the conversation because my mother was speaking to me. But I think the question is how to save like water, conserve it better, right?
That'll do. That's fine. That's climate action.
Yeah, that's what I thought about actually. I thought about personally, we could harvest rainwater. That was an idea for me, because, well, we're running out of water, obviously, and we thought, I thought, sorry, it's just a NATO thing. Anyway, so I think that we should harvest rainwater because we can get a lot of water. And so in the other project, I talked about fairness in income distribution, which is basically while some incomes like are really high and some people like pay the same taxes, the high income and low income. I also think it's about that. I agree with the rest of the what the others said. They all have really nice ideas. I personally think that we should harvest rain water, and we should also make sure like the fairness in income distribution should be fair. Yes, that's
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. Harvesting rainwater is great. And also, there's one thing I love to say, one of my favorite phrases. There we go. Tax the rich. Absolutely, 100%, because with the money that we can tax from people who earn obscene amounts of money, we can invest that back into climate change. Brilliant, great point. Tax the rich. Also tax normal people. I do believe everybody should pay tax, but you know, people who have billions and billions should maybe pay a little bit more. We've got a couple of hands up. There's one here. I'm going to try saying the name so you can all laugh at me. Yagmur.
Hello.
Hello. How do I say your name?
Yağmur.
Yağmur. Okay. Yağmur.
Yes.
Go ahead, Yağmur.
About climate change, I think we can stop traveling on the plane. For example, if you need to fly for work, you can consider using video conferencing instead. For trips in the same country or continent, you can take the train or explore options using an electric car. And when the flying is unavoidable, we may pay a little extra for carbon offsetting.
Nice ideas, really nice ideas. I like those. Now, with my job as it is, I give a lot of talks, as you may have noticed. Most of them I do from here. So like in the last few weeks, I've been to Italy, I've been to Moldova. Where else have I been? I've been to the UK. I've been here in Spain. I've been to France, all from here. But coming up in future, there are more face-to-face conferences. One in May is in Northern Ireland. I had planned to go by train. It was going to take me 4 days to get there and 4 days to get back. Sometimes it is, as you say, unavoidable. So I will be flying there. But 2 days beforehand, I have a conference about 900 kilometers away in Spain. So what I'm doing is I'm getting some friends who are also going to the conference, and we're driving up together. So instead of 3 people going by plane, there are 3 people going in a hybrid car. It's not electric, it's a hybrid car, because I don't know how long that journey would take in an electric car, having to stop and charge and stop and charge. But anyway, there's a hand up there by Fulia.
Yes, I attend a climate action organization, and everybody said stop using your own car, or and all of brands trying to make some electric cars like Tesla. And one of my friends said the Tesla's factory creates a lot of dirt. Is it right?
It's true that, every silver lining has a cloud. Usually in English, you say every cloud has a silver lining, because usually with every bad thing, there's a good thing. But also with a lot of good things, there are bad things. So when it comes to creating electric cars, are they perfect? Absolutely not. They still need to use electricity, which in a lot of countries needs to use, coal, burning fossil fuels, not great. Also, the mining for the batteries, it's questionable, it's not fantastic. However, that said, electric cars, particularly for smaller countries, are the better option. They do obviously use, they're not perfect, they are cleaner though. But then, so go ahead, go ahead, please.
For example, my family have their own cars, and I live in a small city, and it's so useful to use a car. For example, 1 or 2 people. Can you give me some examples for not using our cars? Because transportation is not so fast, and I think money buys time. And what are the reasons not using individual cars?
A fantastic question. Now, the majority of the pollution caused by cars is for short journeys, because the engine isn't heated up yet. So journeys under 5 kilometers. So, okay, 5 kilometers is a long way to walk. I'm not going to say to everyone, hey, if it's 5 kilometers, just walk there. That's fine. No, that will take forever. But, for something of, for example, there's a supermarket at the end of my street. My street is 1.3 kilometers long. It's much easier for me to get the car. Much easier for me to just jump in the car, drive down there, and then drive back. But I don't want to do that. So I either get this one moving and take her for a walk, or I jump on a bike and I get there, try and get there as quick as possible by bike. So yeah, for me, either 3 options: walk, go by bike, or if you are going to go a short distance, make sure you've got a full car. So let's say, I don't know, you're going to school, your school is 3 kilometers away. Who else in your area needs to go to school? Don't take 4 cars to school if you can only take 1. Carpooling is an option.
Okay, thank you very much.
Excellent.
Can I say something about this topic?
Go ahead.
I live in Burdur. It's a city in Turkey, and there, the roads are not suitable for for riding a bicycle. Actually, the ministry is trying to make bike roads, but the roads are literally So how can I ride a bike? Like, I think they should do something about it too. And it's not safe at all to like go outside. Like there's a lot of like, how can I say, like the traffic and like the dogs attack you a lot, especially in the neighborhood I live. Yes, they attack us. So I think like ministries like should do something about it. Yeah.
This seems like a campaign that you can get started. See, one of the big things about climate action is we can't do everything, but we can do something. So finding that one thing that you're truly passionate about, finding that one thing that you think, you know what, I could make a difference. If that one thing is getting good cycle lanes or making sure people train their dogs properly. Look at my dog, she's like that. Oh, she feels embarrassed by her species. She's like, no, they don't do that. She's covering her face. Don't worry, Estrella, we're not talking about you. Oh, she's so embarrassed. You've embarrassed her. Look at that. But that seems like a good campaign that you could get started. Go back to sleep.
Maybe because Burdur is a small city, so maybe if I like get enough people to join it, maybe we can make a change. So yeah, they will listen to us.
Can I add something to that?
Yes, yes.
Please do.
Go on.
Even though we have cleared the walls, get rid of the street dog problem, I don't think we still can do the bicycle in Burdur or in general in Turkey, because there's a lot of hills in here, you know. There's hills of like meters that long. Even though we have found a solution for that, what are we gonna do? Straighten up the hills?
But the more you cycle, the easier the hills get. I have to say, I cycle. There's a hill at the back of my house. It's 5 kilometers and it's all the way up. And at first, I didn't like doing it. And I'll be honest, I still don't like doing it, but I'll do it. And when I get home, my wife always says it's time for a shower because, you know, it's a big hill. I'll make a video of it the next time I come up it. And if I can do it, I'm an old man. I'm almost 38 years old. Wow, Harry, you don't look a day over 36 and a half. Thanks. If I can do it, then I'm sure you can do it too. I believe in you. There's another hand. Tuba?
Hello. In Turkey, over the past couple of months, a thick, foamy layer of marine mucilage, popularly known as sea snot, has spread over swathes of Turkey's Marmara Sea near Istanbul, disturbing fishing and tourism and killing marine life. So it has done a lot of damage to marine life.
Oh no, that does not sound good. Oh, somebody disappeared. What did you say it was called?
Sea snot.
Sea snot. Well, that sounds horrible. Yes. And that's caused by, is it caused by pollution? Do you know how it's caused, this sea snot? This seems like I need to find out about sea snot. It doesn't sound nice.
The water in the sea is getting warmer. Because of that, we can see the.
Oh, okay. Now this is, you know, the temperature of the ocean and the rising of the ocean are two things that are very hard for us on an individual level to make a difference with. You know, we can reduce our own carbon emissions. We can't reduce huge multinational companies' carbon emissions. We can't be like, okay, do you know what? I'm going to turn down Coca-Cola's carbon emissions because I've got the power to do that. The power we have is to stop buying those things. And the more of us that stop buying it and encouraging our friends to stop buying it, then there's the difference we can make. You know, if we can all convince one other person to stop investing in these industries, then again, we can make a small difference by making other people make a difference as well. Anybody else?
No
Okay,
one.
nobody else. Okay, well, I think everyone's spoken an awful lot today, which is brilliant. And what I have to say that since like November, there's been a
We
huge.
have one. We have
Oh,
one.
hello.
Yes, hello. Climate change means to me the change of my future and the happiness, the experiences that maybe I will never have. Maybe I have, but the next generations will not have. Me and my family go to our village to do some picnic or something like that, and I think about how hot how the weather is hot is every summer. And as you can mention, my father is a farmer, and he's always talks about seasons change more and it gets harder. He always says the products are bad and they are freezing because of the cold. And we have some cherry trees, and they give us flowers sometimes in April, sometimes in May, sometimes in March. And he says they weren't like that in 19th. They are trying. They are changing these years, and we are trying to protect them. And my family and I always educate our neighborhoods, and they are not using some plastic things, and they are trying to reducing products that they used. And I also thank you too for being here today. And I feel so hope in my body, in my brain. And as you said, we have so strong power, and maybe we can stop the climate change, but we have some action. We can have some actions, and we are getting bigger. Ilke and I are classmates, and we have project about how to climate change actions Burdur Lake and Burdur Lake's birds, and we hope the project will be succeed, and not just in Turkey, in a global area. We change something about climate change and its effects. Yeah, thank you.
Brilliant. So I want to go right back to the start of what you said there. That was fantastic. We can make a difference. What you said at the start about seasons changing. Now here in Seville, we have something called Athar, which is orange blossom. We have orange trees. Now I moved here 11 years ago, a long time ago. I had hair. I had hair 1 year ago as well, to be honest. I had hair 1 year ago. So I moved here 11 years ago. And when I came here, even for the first 2 or 3 years, the Athar was on the trees, maybe from the second week of March and then maybe the third week of March. You know, they would always start in March. Now, I saw my first piece of Athar this year on the 2nd of February. And it's almost all gone. I always have Athar for my birthday. It's my favorite smell. I go to the streets and I go, Athar, Athar. not anymore. Now it's like, cars, dog poo. So it's not as good anymore. But like you said, we can make a difference. My only fear is people like you, young people who try and make a difference, who want to make a change. When you are old enough, to be in power, to be in government, to be in huge multinational companies, it's going to be too late to change anything. You know, we'll be able to readapt and things like that. But what we need are people now in that position. We need people who are there now, because, you know, if you're going to become the prime minister of your country, that's not going to happen for at least 30 years. And in 30 years' time, I don't know where we're going to be, but it's going to be hot by then. There's another hand up there I can see. I'm not going to try and pronounce it. There are letters in there that they look like it says Semre, but I have no idea.
Hi, my name is Cemre.
Cemre.
Yes, Cemre.
That's a beautiful name, eh?
Thank you. I'm gonna tell you about the Burdur Lake. I also live in Burdur. Burdur Lake has been dying since, like, I don't know, more than 20 years, and it's still dying, and we can't do something to save it, unfortunately. And the government or some, I don't know, big places or companies do nothing. They not trying to do anything. The main reason the lake is dying, people around the lake and the village, they use the sources of the lake to water their fields, wash their clothes. I mean, they close the sources of the lake, and the lake can't, feed or, heal itself. And for like 30 years ago, there was a factory that I don't know how to say it in English name. Sorry for that.
That's okay.
When they got closed, when the factory got closed, they put all their trash into the lake, and the lake is like in a terrible place right now, and it's really important for the people in the border, because when the lake dries, that trash is becoming to a chemical, and it turns some kind into a dust, and it will make cause to cancer and many breathing disease for the people, and it's really bad for the bird. There's a very special bird called the kuyruk, and I think it's the same in English, I don't know, and all the population in the world of the kuruks live in Burdur Lake, so it's really sad to see it's dying all day, and it's getting like weaker and smaller. We can see right from our houses, and farmers or like the government does nothing, or like says, you can't use that source, it's belongs to the lake, you can use it. They never said that. They're never going to say it, probably. They cuts really slang to the people. They know, like, oh, you're my uncle, I can cut you slang, you can use it.
That's
politics. No one will know. They go like this all the time, and the farmers or the people who don't know they're using the source of the lake, they don't know what the water is coming from, and I think it's a very important thing to do to save the earth, the birds, the lake, whatever, because people don't have enough knowledge to water their I couldn't speak, sorry, fields, because they don't know how to do it or where they could do it properly, and they also don't know what to plant. So the border and the places near border are really dry. and not have enough water sources to plant the fields and the stuff. So, but the farmers plant what's the name? There's a vegetable we use to make sugar. They plant that, and it needs a lot of water, and they plant that vegetable near the lake, just literally near the lake, and they took water just right up to the lake, and it's just causing more damage to the lake. And I think it's really important to tell farmers to, like, you're doing it wrong. It's not how you should do it. You can't do that. You shouldn't do that. So what I'm saying is, shortly, I think it's really important to educate farmers, or like people who are using water sources of the places, cities. I just want to say that.
Absolutely. No, I completely agree. We do need to educate everybody, and particularly when it comes to agricultural workers and companies that perhaps there's something I always hear is it's how we've always done it. You know, it's how we've always done it. Like, that's an okay thing to do, you know. Well, guess what? They used to sell slaves, but that wasn't okay. Just because they'd always done it didn't make selling slaves okay, did it? No, it's how we've always done it. Absolutely not. You know, females used to have to only work in the kitchen because that's how they always did it. Not okay. Things change. We need to change. We need to adapt. And if we are going to take good climate action, we need to be able to change. We need to be able to adapt. I'm going to say a big thank you to everybody, because you've all been absolutely incredible this time round. Like last time you were good, this time you've been absolutely out of this world. I see somebody's written in the Padlet. Do feel free to get into the Padlet and have a look at these different ideas. I saw Fatima has written in there. I've put my Instagram into the chat, and I'll put the YouTube channel in there as well. We're currently going through the SDGs on renewable English. We're doing number 11 on the 31st of March, and then 12 on the 14th of April. And then on the 21st of April, put the note in your diaries now or on your Google Calendar, we will be doing climate action. So if you'd, there you go. Somebody even wrote that down there. Wow, that's brilliant. And you can find us, as I say, on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube. We're on Facebook as well, but I don't imagine you are. And yeah, on TikTok as well. So I'm going to hand over to the TikTok is just me collecting rubbish though. So if you find me on Renewable English on TikTok, it's just me and my daughter going around picking up trash. I'm going to hand over to Nida. Am I handing over to Nida or Stefania? Who do I hand over to?
Okay. Okay. Thank you, dear Harry, to become our guest one more time and accept our invitation. We are so happy to meet you, to find you, and we are appreciate also your effort to inform our students. And dear partners, my dear project sisters, and our dear students, it's so nice to see you here again and to be all together. And next week, yes, we will have some Zoom activities again, online Zoom activities. And if you want, Harry, you can come as a guest, but this time you will watch. You won't be the speaker, but if you want, you can join any of them and watch our students while they are talking about the climate action. Because they will be the delegates of some countries. They will choose countries from UN. They will be the delegates, and they will try to find solutions for the climate things and the problems all together. I hope you can find time.
That sounds very cool. Do record it for me, but I'm not coming next week because it's my birthday.
Okay. We will send you a list of the online meeting dates. You can choose any of them, which one is the most suitable one for you. You can join any of them if you want. Thank you
Amazing.
again. We are so happy to meet you. Dear partners, would you like to say something?
I'd like to say special thanks to Harry. I loved your humor and I really loved your dog's patience. You know, it's great. Thank you. It was another great meeting and thank you for your inspiration. You know, I think all the students got inspired by your ideas, your example, how we have to act, that we have to stop buying things and every little thing will make a big difference. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Dear Harry, thank you for accepting our invitation and enlightened our students about climate action. We hope to meet again very soon. Take care. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Have fun in Italy.
Yes, thank you for being with us. And thank you for sharing your brilliant ideas. And I wait for you in Italy, okay, in June.
Exactly. I'll be there in June. I'll see you then. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. You guys are
Bye-bye.
absolutely incredible. Keep doing what you're doing.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
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 Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, I will stop recording.